Men, listen to me carefully. What you believe is inevitable about weak erections is not carved in stone. It is not age that condemns you, but a silent enemy hiding where you least expect it, right in your breakfast. Every morning, without realizing it, you place on your plate something that slowly tightens the blood flow exactly where you need it the most. What is surprising is that this happens to practically all men over 61. Day after day, that seemingly innocent choice changes everything, and the worst part is that most men do not even suspect it. But there is hope. There is a simple food, available to anyone, that has the power to turn the situation around by strengthening circulation and male vitality. It is already there in your kitchen, waiting to be discovered. I have guided thousands of men to free themselves from this silent trap. Today, I am going to show you how to transform your breakfast into a secret weapon that works in your favor. The big pharmaceutical companies want to convince you that the solution is inside a bottle of pills. But the body already knows how to heal itself, as long as it receives the right tools. And those tools are not medical prescriptions. They are found in 4 specific foods that you can start enjoying as soon as tomorrow morning. In just a few minutes, you will discover which ones they are. They are common, inexpensive, yet capable of changing your life when used wisely. I am talking about a more vigorous bloodstream, stronger pelvic muscles, and renewed confidence. No side effects, only your body working for you again. And pay close attention to food number 3, because men who have tried this say they feel its effect before anything else. Some even in less than a week. Stay here, because in the end, I will reveal why it has so much power. If you are ready to recover your vitality exactly where it matters the most, prepare yourself, because every week we share real strategies supported by science that help you live your strongest years. Now let us move on to the first solution. Black beans. Very well, let us get to the core of the issue. Our first pillar may seem too simple, but do not be fooled. With just a quarter cup of black beans in the morning, you begin the process of restoring blood circulation to the place where you need it most. That small portion offers a powerful combination of L-arginine, magnesium, and anthocyanins, essential nutrients that dilate blood vessels and improve flow throughout the pelvic region. If recently you have felt your leg muscles tense, if you have had cramps, slow circulation, or those frustrating moments when things do not respond like before, the root of the problem might be what is missing in your breakfast. Many men at this age decide to skip the meal or settle for something empty, like a slice of toast or just coffee. It seems practical, but it gives nothing to the nitric oxide your body needs in order to relax blood vessels and bring back pelvic strength. By the time men reach 61, natural nitric oxide production has dropped sharply. This means the smooth muscle tissue in the groin no longer receives the same oxygenated blood it once did. The result is less energy, less firmness, and circulation problems that are hard to admit. Black beans help reverse that process naturally. And you might think they are only carbohydrates that cause gas. That is a mistaken idea. With the right preparation, such as soaking them overnight or cooking them in a modern pressure cooker, black beans become a gentle food for the stomach and tremendously powerful for your health. Nutritionally, they contain more essential amino acids than many of those expensive protein bars at the supermarket. And they bring an extra bonus. Their abundant fiber stabilizes blood sugar and keeps digestion smooth. No energy crashes, no glucose spikes. Vascular researchers have shown that just a couple of tablespoons of beans raise nitric oxide levels to ranges comparable to certain low-dose prescription vasodilators. That is right. Something as basic as a spoonful of well-prepared beans can do the same thing that pharmaceutical companies charge a fortune to sell. That is the real reason they work. Because inside your body, they release the power of blood flow exactly where it matters most. Black beans are loaded with L-arginine, a key amino acid that triggers a chain reaction. Once absorbed, it stimulates the enzyme enos, the endothelial nitric oxide synthase. This enzyme sends the signal to the blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to reach the groin, the legs, and every area where circulation tends to weaken with age. And it does not end there. These beans contain anthocyanins, natural compounds that reduce inflammation by regulating nitric oxide production. Too much inflammation blocks the pathways. Anthocyanins help restore balance, ensuring that nitric oxide truly reaches the tissues that need it most. And there is also soluble fiber. It helps sweep away excess LDL cholesterol, the one that hardens arteries and slows circulation. Cleaner arteries mean less resistance and a stronger flow, especially during physical activity or in those moments when firmness and confidence are essential. Black beans also provide natural compounds such as ferulic acid and caffeic acid, which act like a shield against oxidative damage in blood vessels. That protection preserves the nitric oxide that your body works so hard to produce, allowing not only its creation, but also keeping it active for longer. In the first weeks, many men report feeling warmer hands and feet, fewer nighttime leg cramps, and more reliable firmness at dawn. All of that indicates that circulation is reactivating, not only in the limbs, but also in the pelvic area, where blood flow is decisive for male vitality. And do not take only my words for it. I am talking about Mark, retired engineer of 67, who decided to add a spoonful of black beans to his scrambled eggs 3 mornings a week. After just 1 month, he told me that he could finally walk all the way around the local park without that annoying feeling of heavy legs. But what made him the happiest was recovering the natural ease of his mornings. No pills, no tension, only progress. Now, a quick recommendation on how to use black beans wisely. Start with a small portion, around 1/4 cup, especially if your body is not used to fiber-rich legumes. Rinse them well before cooking to remove the oligosaccharides, compounds that sometimes cause gas. If you deal with gout, monitor the amount you eat. Black beans contain purines that can worsen flare-ups in people who are sensitive. And if you take anticoagulants, pay attention to your vitamin K levels. It is not that these beans contain too much, but it is always good to keep track as part of your usual care. The real victory lies in discovering how something as basic as a spoonful of beans can bring strength back to your leg muscles. That power does not come from a bottle. It comes from real foods grown in the ground, the kind your body recognizes and responds to. Now let us move forward to the next food. A creamy, nutrient-packed option that not only softens the elasticity of your blood vessels, but also encourages your testosterone to work more efficiently. Solution 2. Steel-cut oats with almonds and chia. The second member of our quartet for reactivating circulation is a warm bowl of steel-cut oats topped with toasted almond flakes and a spoonful of chia seeds that have been soaked beforehand. It is not just a comforting dish. It is nutritional therapy designed for your arteries. I call it the second movement of the circulatory symphony because it offers 3 things your body wants at the start of the day: stable energy, muscular support, and vascular repair. Many men I know admit that they skip breakfast entirely, settling for a black coffee and nothing more. It may seem practical, but the body interprets that habit differently. Cortisol rises, the muscles tighten, the blood vessels contract, and by mid-morning energy collapses. That second or third cup of coffee is not strengthening your stamina, it is only hiding a bigger problem: poor blood sugar control and a terrible management of nutrients. Others reach for a quick pastry or a sugary box cereal, which sends glucose soaring like a roller coaster and leaves them exhausted before noon. Gentlemen, you deserve much more than that. Instead of an empty or sugar-loaded breakfast, prepare a bowl of steel-cut oats in 5 minutes, topped with toasted almonds and a spoonful of chia seeds that have soaked in water overnight. That simple gesture can completely transform how your body feels, even before lunchtime arrives. You get a base of complex carbohydrates for steady energy, not a spike followed by a crash. The chia provides fiber, protein, and hydration for slow-release energy, and the almonds add healthy fats and magnesium, both crucial for muscular and vascular function. The real secret is in the steel-cut oats. They contain a fiber called beta-glucan, which acts like a broom cleaning LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream. Clinical studies show that 1 daily bowl can reduce that cholesterol by up to 10% in only 4 weeks. When LDL decreases, the arteries widen, and that means more consistent blood flow to the parts of the body that depend on healthy circulation to perform at their best. Oats also contain a unique group of compounds called avenanthramides. These antioxidants activate the same enos enzyme we talked about earlier, the one that helps the body release nitric oxide and relax the vessels. At the same time, they suppress the pathway called NFKV, responsible for vascular inflammation. When that pathway quiets down, the vessels stay flexible and responsive. In one study, men who included oats in their diet showed a 1% increase in flow-mediated dilation, a key marker of vascular health. It may seem small, but in vascular science, 1% reflects a real change in how your arteries behave under pressure. Now let us see what happens when we add chia seeds to that bowl. These tiny black seeds work actively in favor of your blood vessels. When soaked overnight in water, they turn into a mineral-rich gel that hydrates the digestive tract and offers slow and steady energy throughout the morning. But what makes them truly special for circulation lies inside that gel. Each seed releases a natural compound called ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 with a strong impact. In people with metabolic syndrome, ALA has been shown to decrease arterial stiffness and reduce blood pressure without medications. And it is not a mild effect, it is something that can be measured. Chia does not only create satiety, it also naturally promotes the release of water through the kidneys, a diuretic effect that reduces the load the heart must overcome to push blood through the vessels. This results in less circulatory tension and a more efficient flow to the extremities and the pelvic floor. Let me tell you about Stephen, a 65-year-old accountant who struggled with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. He replaced his sugary box cereal with a mixture of oats, almonds, and chia. In just 8 weeks, his labs showed the difference. His endothelial progenitor cells, responsible for repairing damaged vessels, doubled, and his insulin resistance dropped by 12%. But what surprised him the most was not the numbers. His words were clear. He said that he regained confidence in the bedroom even before his lab results came back. That kind of testimony is never forgotten. Now here are some practical tips for preparation. Soak the chia seeds overnight in water or unsweetened almond milk. Dry chia seeds expand quickly, and if swallowed without hydration, they can swell in the esophagus and cause discomfort. Oats are usually well tolerated, but if you have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, make sure they are certified gluten-free. Avenin, a protein found in oats, can still cause reactions in some people. Lastly, even though almonds are an excellent source of magnesium and polyphenol, they are also high in calories. Do not exceed 2 tablespoons if you are watching your weight. What you achieve with this bowl is a true vascular rehabilitation right at the table. The soluble fiber from the oats removes LDL cholesterol from your arteries. The polyphenol from the oats and the almonds repair the inner walls of the vessels, while the hydrating and anti-inflammatory effect of the chia keeps everything flowing, especially in the area where circulation makes the biggest difference in how you feel each day. This is not just a breakfast. It is like updating your body's software through what you eat. And before moving to the third food, I want to know something. What is your favorite ingredient to add to your oats that supports blood flow? Do you use cinnamon, berries, pure cacao, or maybe something else? Write it in the comments. I read every message, and your experiences inspire others to build better habits. Solution 3. Green tea. Green tea. Now let us talk about this ancient drink. Let me share the case of Andrew, age 71. A sharp-minded man, still solves crossword puzzles with a pen. However, he arrived frustrated about something he had never admitted before. His energy and his performance were fading, especially in intimacy. No stamina, no desire. He was not looking for pills. He wanted to reconnect with his vitality. We did not start with medications. We started by reviewing his routine. Andrew drank a soda every afternoon to get his strength back. I asked him to replace it with something simple, a hot cup of Sincha green tea. Nothing else. 3 weeks later, he returned smiling and told me that his teapot was cheaper than any drug. You might think green tea is nothing more than caffeinated water. That would be a mistake. Green tea, especially good quality Sincha, contains something no soda can offer. A powerful compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate. This catechin activates a biochemical pathway in the blood vessels that stimulates nitric oxide, the key molecule that widens arteries and restores vigorous circulation, especially in the pelvic region. EGCG drives the PI3-KAK pathway, a cascade that reactivates endothelial nitric oxide synthase. This means more blood reaches the lower areas with less pressure, less resistance, and more reliability. And this happens quickly. In a clinical trial, a single cup of green tea increased flow-mediated dilation, meaning the artery's ability to expand, by up to 30% in only 2 hours. Compare that with black tea or energy drinks. Green tea preserves more galates, the active components that fight oxidative stress and protect nitric oxide from breaking down. So if you already eat oats and black beans for breakfast, you're on the right path. But adding 1 cup of green tea in the morning or replacing your sugary afternoon drink with it can bring blood flow back exactly where it matters most. And if you are wondering, Andrew still drinks his sencha every day, not because he has to, but because he feels the result. In clinical studies with men who had coronary disease and serious vascular problems, a daily dose of 300 milligrams of EGCG improved circulation to the pelvic region. That is a tangible change in the arteries that regulate intimate performance. Andrew not only felt it, he confirmed it. After 6 weeks of daily green tea, his duplex ultrasound showed an 18% improvement in peak cavernous systolic velocity. That is the real speed at which blood enters the arteries of the penis. To make it clear, even a 10% increase can transform confidence and physical readiness. Andrew achieved almost double that, without pills, without side effects, without guesswork. Only a teapot and consistency. Now, if you are thinking about making green tea a daily habit, and you really should, this is how to prepare it correctly. Do not boil it until you ruin it. Use loose sencha leaves, about 2 grams per cup, and steep them in water at 80 degrees. Not hotter. 3 minutes are enough. If you leave it longer or use higher temperatures, you destroy exactly the catechins your arteries desperately need. For the best effect, drink a cup in the morning. This activates your nitric oxide levels for the entire day. And if you have an intimate moment planned, drink another cup about an hour beforehand. That timing triggers an immediate vasodilating effect, allowing the blood vessels to open just when you need it. If you want to enhance each cup even more, add a few drops of lemon. Vitamin C triples the absorption of catechins in your intestines, which means more nitric oxide, better circulation, and more noticeable results, without adding calories or sugar. Green tea is powerful, but that does not mean drinking too much is better. Stay below 5 cups a day. High doses of EGCG, especially from concentrated supplements, can strain the liver, particularly if you are taking statins for cholesterol. If you take medications like sildenafil, leave at least 2 hours of space. The catechins in green tea can interact with liver enzymes that affect the way these drugs are processed. It is a simple timing adjustment that keeps everything in balance. Some men worry that green tea lowers testosterone. That only happens with extreme, very abnormal consumption. And even then, the effect is mild and temporary. For the overwhelming majority, the circulatory benefits far outweigh any hormonal changes. Every sip of green tea rewrites the vascular story of your body. Smoother flow, more flexible arteries, a calmer heart, and for many men, a quiet surge of confidence exactly where it matters most. In the next part, you will discover the pantry ingredient which, when added to breakfast, multiplies the effect of green tea and helps maintain testosterone, energy, and stamina stable throughout the entire day. Solution 4. Blueberries. Blueberries. Think about this. A simple handful, one that fits in the palm of your hand, has the power to widen your arteries even before your smartwatch records the first 500 steps of the day. These small dark fruits are loaded with compounds that start working right away. In just 2 hours, they begin improving the function of your blood vessels, relaxing the arteries, and allowing oxygen-rich blood to flow more easily through your entire body, including the key areas related to intimacy and stamina. For men over 60, this kind of natural support is not optional, it is essential. You have probably heard the usual objection: fruit contains sugar, so it is bad for glucose. It sounds logical until you look at the numbers. A full cup of blueberries contains only about 10 grams of natural sugar, less than a simple slice of bread. And what truly matters is this: Blueberries are full of anthocyanins, compounds that stabilize blood sugar and support vasodilation. They do not spike insulin, they protect your blood vessels, and the moment you eat them changes everything. Right after waking up, your body is vulnerable. Nitric oxide, the molecule that opens your arteries, is low, and oxidative stress is high, putting pressure on your vessels. This is exactly why blueberries need to be part of your breakfast. The anthocyanins kickstart the production of nitric oxide and reduce oxidative stress. The result is more flexible arteries, ready to move blood efficiently, especially in the areas that age weakens first. Clinical studies have confirmed that consuming around 240 grams of blueberries, which equals a full cup, improves flow-mediated dilation by up to 2%. It may sound small, but here is the truth. An increase of 1.5 to 2% in FMD means that the arteries expand better, blood flows more easily, and oxygen reaches the areas that begin to fail first, especially those connected with energy, intimacy, and confidence. And it is not a temporary effect. Eating blueberries consistently turns these improvements into lasting results. This happens thanks to the metabolites your body produces, such as protocatechuic acid and vanillic acid. These byproducts influence how your genes regulate vascular tone, control inflammation, and decide how cells adhere to arterial walls. All of this matters for keeping blood flowing freely into every corner of your body. In addition, a steady habit with blueberries lowers systolic pressure by 5 to 7 points, a huge drop for anyone struggling with hypertension or poor circulation. And yes, nitric oxide also increases, which means your blood vessels become more responsive and open, allowing blood to move toward the areas where you need it most. Let me give you a real example. A 73-year-old patient, a former smoker and on daily treatment for hypertension and performance issues, adopted one very simple habit. He added frozen blueberries to plain yogurt 3 mornings a week. Nothing extreme. No radical changes. 6 months later, we measured his brachial artery function again. His FMD doubled, rising from 3% to 6%. He said he felt more alert, more energetic, and yes, more confident in intimacy. He even reduced his dose of erectile dysfunction medication by half under his doctor's guidance, and he admitted feeling 10 years younger. You might now wonder if this is safe for everyone. For most people, absolutely. Blueberries contain very little vitamin K, which means they rarely interfere with treatments like warfarin. However, if you take blood thinners, it is always best to check first. They also have a moderate amount of oxalates, so if you have dealt with kidney stones, the safest choice is to stick to half a cup instead of a full one. What does this mean for you? It means that every time you eat a cup of blueberries in the morning, you are supporting your circulation in real time. Imagine your arteries as highways at sunrise. Blueberries switch on the signals, clear the path, and let the traffic, your blood, reach exactly where it needs to go without obstacles. And yes, that also includes the areas related to stamina, performance, and self-confidence. This is a small step with a powerful message. You have not lost anything, not even close. A simple dark blue fruit can begin transforming your life in a silent, steady, and powerful way. The fact that you have come this far tells me something. You care about taking control. And now, let us talk about the next step. The action that begins today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, gentlemen, you are not simply drifting along. You are choosing to fight for your vitality. And the tools are already in your hands, but they only work if you use them. Make breakfast your strongest move. Tomorrow, choose one of the foods we discussed. Just start. Do not aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Your body responds to small daily victories. That first hour after waking up is the golden moment for your circulation. If you skip breakfast or wait until you are extremely hungry, you lose a critical window. During that moment, your vessels are more responsive and your muscles are ready to absorb nutrients. Do it right and you will notice real changes. Warmth in the lower area, steadier energy in your legs, firmer steps when climbing stairs. Many men tell me that within a few weeks their sexual responses also improve. Even more, they report deeper nightly rest and a renewed sense of hope. I have seen men over 80 regain ground they thought was lost forever. Time does not take your strength away. Only what you stop defending disappears. Too many men give up long before the body fails. But now, with a simple plate, the opportunity is in your hands. Let us quickly review the 4 foods that boost circulation. First, black beans, loaded with magnesium to relax the vessels. Second, oatmeal with almonds, combined with chia seeds to strengthen nitric oxide. Third, green tea, whose catechins fight inflammation in the most sensitive tissues. Fourth, blueberries, those small warriors that battle oxidative stress in the pelvic arteries. And remember, timing changes everything. Eat them within the first hour after waking up to ignite your circulation, your energy, and your confidence. Claim your mornings. Make your fork your strongest tool. Your story is still being written. Gentlemen, the next chapter begins tomorrow at your breakfast table. If this message has given you practical hope, share it. A like, a comment, or sending it to a friend makes a difference. Leave a 1 if you will try one of these foods tomorrow. Leave a 0 if something was unclear and you need more guidance. Your words help this community grow. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your health today. Take action, take good care of yourself, and keep fighting.